Good morning. Sorry for the fraction late. Manic this morning. Got an appointment in a little while, so I have to set off, so I had to get ready. Welcome to another Compliance Over Coffee. And this morning we are going to talk about the importance of policies, risk assessments, controls, procedures, all of that sort of stuff. And the reason that I'm going to cover it is because if you're interested in it, you don't have them in your business, you'd like to know more, that is the topic for our Future Proof Your Sourcing webinar, which is live next Thursday, which after I've finished on here, Tony will put the link in. It's completely free to attend. You just have to register and you'll get a link to attend. It's from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. next Thursday. We do these once a month. They're fantastic free tools for you to register and use, and we deep dive into certain topics, and there is an opportunity for a 5-10 minute Q&A at the end. There's no massive upsell. I'm not going to sell you anything. Yes, I've talked to you about how our businesses can support you from the training side through to the National Association. However, the webinar is free. It is a training webinar. It's a deep dive, and it gives you a lot of valuable information that you'll get in very few other areas. So, what is the importance of these policies, risk assessments, controls and procedures? They're really, really important because they are the driver for how your business operates. They are the written word as to how you are going to behave with every client that you come across, whether that's a seller or whether that's a buyer. They tell you exactly what you should be doing at every stage with each one of them. And they are the written word that you should be following day in and day out in your business. Why? Because your insurance, your registration for the redress scheme, ICO for data protection, and HMRC's money laundering is the tip of the iceberg of what full compliance looks like. Which is why now I say to people when they declare that they're fully compliant, okay, what policies, risk assessments, controls and procedures have you got in place? And they'll say, what are those? And I'll say, you are not fully compliant. In fact, you're worse than nothing at all. Your head's above the parapet and you absolutely do not know what you're doing, and you really need to. So the importance of those is that they drive your company. They tell your company how to behave with each client, and they're a legal requirement. That is the key importance. And you know, how many of you who source would go out and steal a car or would steal something from a supermarket or would drive your car without insurance or allow somebody else to take you out in their car knowing that they didn't have insurance or a driving license? I would hope the vast majority of you wouldn't even consider doing that. It wouldn't be a possibility. It wouldn't be a consideration. That's illegal. That's breaking the law. That's a crime. Well, so is being a non-compliant sourcing agent. You're breaking the law. And whilst it is easier to sit there and listen to the fluff and the roses around the door story that tell you exactly what you want to hear, you'll get none of that from me because I don't believe in it. My background doesn't allow for that. So, policies, risk assessments, written procedures. Your policies are for data privacy and anti-money laundering. Your risk assessments are overall business risk assessment, seller risk assessment, buyer risk assessment. And you must be able to assess each of those for if they're an individual, a limited company, an LLP, a limited liability partnership, or a trust. Your sellers, you must be able to assess if an LPA is in place or if probate is in process. So you have to understand what you're doing. Your controls and procedures sit in those risk assessments. So dependent on the end result of your risk assessment will tell you which control and procedure to use for that type of client, dependent on the type of client and the type of risk that you identify. And those risks are so varied, and they will be different from for every sourcing company. The risk could be low if your investor is investing in buy-to-let properties. They've already invested, they have a history in the UK, they live in the UK, they are from the UK. They have a UK bank account, and they're using high street finance to fund the deals. You could consider those low risk. You could be working with someone who is a non-UK resident who is buying with cash and is working in multi-million-pound development deals. The risk for that could be a lot higher. But you have to be able to assess your own business and understand how HMRC gauge risk. And then your procedures tell you exactly how you proceed with them, what level of due diligence you should be doing, how many documents you should be getting, and what types of documents. So that's a little bit about policies, risk assessments, controls and procedures. A week today, we have the live webinar, Future Proofing. It is deep diving into those topics for an hour, completely free of charge. Tony put the link in after I finished on here, so I hope that some of you will join us. We usually have about 45-50 registered for each event. We run them monthly on different topics. That's it for Compliance Over Coffee this morning. I hope you enjoyed the topic. I hope that you use the link and you join us next Thursday. There are no recordings of the webinar. If you can't get there, you can't get there. You miss out. I'm sorry. These webinars are just for those who attend live. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope the sun shines where you are, and I will see you next Thursday morning, the usual time, at 8:30 a.m. Bye for now.